Hey there, this is Catherine Cartwright. Welcome to the ScrapbookPal channel. Today I'm going to be making a card using some cute stamp sets from Lawn Fawn. This is Sometimes Life is Prickly and Porcu-pine for You add-on, or the two stamp sets. And then I have the coordinating dies. I'm also going to use a couple of other Lawn Fawn products, so let's go ahead and get started. I have stamped all of my images onto alcohol-friendly paper using alcohol-friendly ink, and I'm starting with some E color here. I've got E00 and E11, and I'm just going to run the E00 all over my image and then come back with E11 to blend in just a little bit of shadow and detail. Some of these images are quite small. The flowers, the little pot with the succulent in it, a little heart, and these cute little mushrooms. So some of them I'll put a little more detail in than others, but I'm just starting with blending these two colors together. This little porcupine is holding a plant of a succulent. So cute. All right, so now I'm going to move on to the fur, or the outer part. I'm going to use W6 here. I'm just going to kind of run it doesn't have to be a very sharp line right here because I'm going to blend this together, but I'm just going to add a little bit of this so there's some shadow to make it look like the fur, or the coat, so to speak, is behind, and adding a little bit of shadow to our porcupine here. So I'm going to use W1 to blend out a little bit of that W6 and just pull that out to my edge. If there's a little bit of lightness left on the edge, that works perfectly for me because it just adds a little bit more of interest. I'm going to move again to the smaller little porcupine here and repeat these same colors. I'll do this with the other bigger porcupine that has the hands that are empty as well. So I'm going to keep all of the colors the same for these porcupines. So cute! Lots and lots of fun. My daughter is obsessed with porcupines. She loves them. So this stamp set is very, very cute. And there are a lot of fun elements to the two of these. There's flowers. One of them has the succulent, the larger succulent that I'm going to color. And then the cute little mushroom. And just fun little things that you can add to create your cute little scene for a really pretty quick and easy card. So again, I'm just adding this ease in there, and then I will use a die in a minute to cut out these little cute porcupines, and one of them cuts out the hands so that you can put little things in there. So that's another little fun touch that I found was cute with this set. All right, so I'm just blending out that W6 using my W1, working quickly here to move a little bit more of that ink, and then I will let the alcohol marker do its thing. Here's R30 for a little bit on the nose, and then I'm going to use some greens here to blend together, and then some more E colors, a little darker, for the little pots that this one's holding. And then I started with R30 for the flower, but I wanted it to be a little darker, so I moved to R43. I'm going to now start working on some of the smaller elements, and this is that pot with the big giant succulent in there, and I'm going to use one green, and then I'm going to come back with YG67. I'm going to leave the middle pretty light here, and then I'll blend those two together. I'm going to do the arms, that's YG23, and then I'll use the YG67. I'm just going to kind of blend one side of each of the arms as if they're kind of being shaded by that big middle part. All right, back to R43. These flowers, I'm just doing one coat because they are quite small. You could add a little more detail if you wanted to, but I'm just going to keep this to one color. I'm using yellow and purple and pink. I wanted to have a trio of colors, and then I will work on the leaf. I'm going to use YG23. And then for the centers, I'm going to either use the yellow or I'm going to use the pink. So I'm just taking a second here to fill these in. You could add some gemstones to these after you cut them. I think that would be a fun thing to do to the flower, or a little bit of Stickles glitter glue, something like that, if you wanted to add a little more embellishment to it. So the mushrooms, I'm coloring in W1, And then I'm going to do the little spots with W6. And you'll see one of these I colored all in W6 just to switch it up to see if I liked it, but I didn't really love it, the darker color. I really liked the lighter, the W1 with the W6. So I just switched back. So that's why there's one that was a different color. All right, so now I'm going to use this Grassy border die. This is from Lawn Fawn as well. I've got everything colored, and then I'm going to start cutting things. I wanted to show you these cute little hands. You can see there's that separate die that I'm setting up, and that will allow me to cut out the hands of one of the porcupines. I've also die cut in a purple cardstock this big Happy Spring die from Lawn Fawn, and I'm just using some Villainous potion of the ink from Distress Ink, my little cube here, and I'm just going to add a little bit of ink around the edges for a little bit of definition and to let that kind of pop off my page. I've got a piece of pattern paper here that I have trimmed down to 4 inches by 5 1/4 that is going to be the base of my card. Now I have this cute grass border. What I love about things like these kind of borders is you can cut them to any depth that you want. So, and here's that little hand. Let me just show you the little hands being open in that one. And but I'm going to glue down my grass border so you can really put it wherever you want and have as much grass or as little grass as you want. So if I had a smaller sentiment or something and I wanted to have it go up further into my card, I can do that. So I love the flexibilities of border dies because you can make it whatever size you want it to. All right, so I've got that secured down, and I took some little small foam pieces and added them to the back of the Happy Spring, and now I'm going to start putting my card together. I know I want that big word die obviously in the middle of this card, and then I'm going to surround it with a bunch of my little porcupines, and I wanted to use my flowers as well. So once I want the succulent in here as well, and then when I like where those are, I'm going to glue these directly onto my card. Some of these things I will pop up, but most of these are going to go right onto the card. And I'm going to make sure that I didn't glue my hands down by putting too much adhesive. So that's just a little tip. If you have a die like this that you're using, just make sure you don't put glue where you don't want it to go. Otherwise the hands might be stuck. I'm going to place this little succulent pot here and then put the other porcupine in front of it. So cute. And then I have a bunch of these little elements that I want to use, but I do want to squeeze in this really cute little tiny porcupine. I'm going to pull up my grass just a little bit to kind of get him in place there. I'm going to add a piece of foam to the bottom of him, and then I'm going to stick him into my grassy little border. So just all about spring. So these stamp sets have some other sentiments in them as well, and for other seasons. I think one of these has the Valentine in it. But just by changing like your word die or your colors, you can really stretch your stamps and turn them into another season or for another occasion. So I love having flexibility. Just by making a few changes on your card, you can really stretch your stamps. So I've got all of these flowers. I knew I wanted to have some of these flowers popping out behind the Happy Spring, from the Happy Spring, and now I'm just going to place them in there, and I wanted to include one of my little mushrooms as well. So once I get all of them in place where I think I want them to go, I did cut a color and cut another purple one because I was short one more flower and I wanted the purple to kind of balance it out with the purple, pink, and yellow. So now I'm happy where everything is, and I'm just going to take my adhesive here and start gluing all of these down for this very festive Happy Spring card. And then once I have those in place, I'll just make sure that I'm just gluing the top of them. They should stay pretty secure underneath the little grassy border. And then that really cute little mushroom. Now I do want to put a heart on here, so I'm going to just pop up my hands and add that behind there. I'm just going to add the glue to the heart, gluing it to my porcupine, and it will stay securely in place. How cute. So now we've got a fun little scene here, but I'm gonna push down this little porcupine a tiny bit more. I felt like it was a little too high onto the spring, and I didn't want to block that letter. And so once I'm happy, I'll add a little bit more adhesive there. And that is this card. Now I am going to layer this onto a piece of blue cardstock, and then this will go onto a white card base. That card base is going to be an A2 sized, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 is the finished card base. So cute, all about spring flowers. And I stamped in there, "I love you so much," which was one of the sentiments in the stamp set. And I had one little flower left, so of course I thought it would be a good idea to add it into the inside to tie that all together. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe to ScrapbookPal. We have lots of great content. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.